The Prime Minister has faced an absolute landslide of criticism and mockery in the Parliament in just the last few moments. The opposition leader Keir Starmer has described this new hollowed-out front bench as a pathetic spectacle. He's been calling them a Z-list cast of nodding dogs, and he said that this is the first case of a sinking ship deserting the rat, having a laugh at Boris Johnson's expense, of course. But he says that the substantial matters here are very serious because he says the Prime Minister has been condoning appalling behaviour in promoting Chris Pincher, who he knew had been accused of sexual impropriety before. Now, he's also expanded his attack on the government front bench, basically calling on the MPs and ministers who are still supporting the Prime Minister to, in his words, show some self-respect. He says that they are supporting a man who has condoned the behaviour of Chris Pincher, who he has described as a sexual predator. The Prime Minister, though, he is defiant. He's been giving a fairly fighting performance in the House of Commons today, saying that he is getting on with the job, trying to focus on the economy and the war with Ukraine, but the war in Ukraine. But it's pretty hard to see how he could be entirely focused on this, because this is consuming Westminster right now. And if Boris Johnson wants to keep his job, he is going to have to focus on party politics.
Indeed. Nick, does the resignation of key Tory MPs come as a surprise?
I think these latest lot of resignations did come somewhat out of the blue, because these were very senior ministers who have supported the Prime Minister previously through other scandals. But it did become clear that the Prime Minister had given a job to a man who he knew had been accused of sexual misconduct previously. And not just that, he had allowed number 10 officials and senior ministers to go out onto the airwaves and deny that fact for several days. And really, the government did get caught out in that. And I think there was a feeling that that reflected poorly on the senior members of the front bench as well. So they've decided to go, but it's not just them either. We've had also the Justice Minister and the Treasury Minister resign as well today. So the pressure is certainly building.
Boris Johnson is technically safe from a leadership challenge for nearly a year, but could that change?
It definitely could change. Yeah, it was June that the Prime Minister won a confidence vote in the party room. It was about 60-40, so not exactly a high margin. And under the party rules, he is saved from another confidence motion for a year. But those rules are set by the party, and those rules can be changed. There are already moves underway to try to change the makeup of the committee that sets those rules, so that the rules could be amended. And certainly Boris Johnson isn't safe by any measure. The MPs are currently working on that plan, and we're expecting potential changes to the rules within days.
And Nick, do you think Boris Johnson will ever resign? What's his strategy until the next election?
Well, I think if it was anyone else, we probably would have seen them go by now. For a Prime Minister to lose two very senior ministers, the Chancellor and the Health Minister, for his own MPs to say that he's essentially not trustworthy, and also only to narrowly win a confidence motion recently, most other Prime Ministers probably would have seen that as a sign that they are losing support. But not Boris Johnson. In fact, he has already gone and appointed replacements for the MPs who have left. So he says he's trying to get on with the job. Some of his most loyal backbenchers say that the Prime Minister isn't beholden to the Cabinet. He's beholden to the wider party and the backbench in particular. And they say that they're confident he still has enough support among Conservative MPs. Whether or not he'll ever get a chance to face voters again is very much up in the air.
And just lastly, Nick, what do you think is expected to happen in the coming days? Do you think we'll see more resignations? And what has the reaction been in London and in the UK?
Yeah, look, it's entirely possible there will be more resignations because we've seen more of them flow in. I think certainly the last 24 hours has been the key period, and Boris Johnson has, I guess, managed to escape any more major resignations, but it is entirely possible we'll see more people deserting Boris Johnson's ship, and yeah, when it comes to those party rules, I think it's entirely possible we'll see movement on that in the next few days. So it's possible the Prime Minister could face another challenge.
Nick Dole in London, thank you.